Oh, whoa. Hello, hi. Now, as you probably know, my name's Bruce. This is my classroom in the forest. Hope everything's going well. Today's a big day. It is a big day. It's a big day because here in North America, I think everywhere, I'm not sure, we had fall back. So we set the clocks back 1 hour. So everyone's keen and up, having a little bit of extra sleep. That's great. Hope it's all well. There you go. So as you know, I like to talk about a thing, I like to talk about a person, I like to talk about an idea. Now, the thing I'm going to talk about is awesomeness, and the person that I'm going to talk about, that'll come up in a second. The idea that I'm talking about, all will be revealed. Anyway, okay, a little bit about the last video. Geez, that one was a little bit serious, but it's good to be serious because, you know, we have to talk about someone that's taking themselves a little bit too seriously is the diminutive Russian president, the president of Russia. He's like if you take those Russian nesting dolls or the Ukraine nesting doll, I'm not sure, but the dolls that go inside the doll and inside the doll and inside the doll and inside the doll, and finally you get to a little tiny, little bitty, teeny, weeny little thing. That's the president of Russia. He's a little tiny, little bitty, teeny, weeny thing. Okay, moving it along. All right. Now, what I'm really going to talk about today is that video, he can sit in for the person. That's fine. But the thing is drama. Drama. Okay, drama. Lately, I've been... a little bit about myself. All will be revealed. About myself is, I said to someone the other day that I'm kind of like a professional coffee shop goer. I go to a lot of coffee shops. There's a lot of people that go to a lot of coffee shops, and you might think, oh, I go to a lot of coffee shops, and, well, I think I go to a lot of coffee shops, and I kind of do. What do I mean by that? I'll go to, I'm going to say, 20 a week. Some weeks more, some weeks less, but it's a big number. And I've been inside Starbucks the world over. Starbucks, I can tell you that Starbucks is it's pretty good, but there's a few levels beyond that, and there's some of the better ones are lower ones. Those are Starbucks, a coffee shop goer. Another thing that I've recently become is not a professional, but certainly an aficionado of watching drama. I've always done this. I studied theater and cinema in university. You may make an inference that I studied a lot of things in university, and that's true. But it's a bit of a dilettante. So, theater, cinema. Okay, what I've been doing is years ago. I was very, very young, is someone in my family had mentioned that a really good job was being a bartender, tending bar. And I realized later in life that was true. And I became a bartender. And as I was working as being a bartender, I realized that my real task was, I was fortunate though, I worked in a really one bar that I thought was really fantastic. And it was like a caricature of a bar where we would have a sequence of people that came in that were absolutely brilliant. And they were in generally a good mood, and it wasn't super busy, like there wasn't thousands and thousands of customers, so I was able to have a good chit-chat conversation with all these people. And lordy, wow, that was a good time. It was enjoyable for me. It was a tremendous thing. So that was an aside. But, okay, I'm getting to something here. I've recently begun watching Korean television. Okay. And as someone that, in a formal sense, was educated in cinema, in the art of drama, and have some, everyone has this, but it's the thing, and it's reminded me of a song by, of all things, I think it's the band Air Supply from the 80s. They had this line, "The hardest part of love is letting go." Okay, Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I've been watching. Okay, you have Hollywood, and you have, say, Canada drama, and you have convention. Okay, now, like our great man Shakespeare, he wrote a little thing, says, all the world's a stage and all the people merely players. First act, a mewling, bawling infant, and he carries it on through. And the point is that we all have a sense of ourselves on a stage of the world when we interact with our life and step outside. But like the great Air Supply said, the hardest part is letting go. Okay, letting go. And what happens is, in the context of this idea of drama here, is if you think about Hollywood, or Canadian less so, but American drama, the actors stay in a box. Okay, so they're playing to the camera, they're playing to each other, and their emotions are contained within a space that's like this. Okay, I'm supposed to be this person, so I will be doing this thing. And if you look at kind of elevated American drama, like great acting, then maybe that emotional range is going to go out to here. And if you look past the character that you're seeing on the screen to the character that's behind the character and behind the character and behind the character, the depth of drama and emotion, it's been expanding, but really it's in this box like this. Okay, now as a viewer, we're tempted to watch the teleplay unfold, like watch what's happening, and spend some time thinking, oh, what is this about? What's happening? What is this person up to? All this sort of thing. Now, that's okay. Right? That's okay. And if you're a person of a certain age, as maybe I am, or maybe a little bit older, maybe a little tiny bit younger, but not too much, in school you would have studied, say in your English class, and the person would be, your teacher would be talking about what happens in a story. There'd be like the introduction of the characters, the rising action, the falling action, the climax, the denouement, words like this. And these words, the problem with them is they're just words. And if you reflect back, is on one of my little talks here, I said, well, does a tree know it's a tree? And well, does applying analysis and labels to a drama impact your enjoyment of it? And the answer is no, it impedes it. It gets in the way. Okay, now we're going to talk about something that's amazing. Korea. And Korean as an adjective. And Korean cinema and things. And what does this have to do with me talking about being a bartender? Well, what it has to do is this, is when I was really young, really, I can't even go young enough, I'll go to the frame, but when I was really small, my parents had a kind of let's say a store or a business, and the net result of that was that people would come in, and they were people that we didn't know, they were strangers, and so you would talk to them. And then when someone said there's a job called the bartender, and I started thinking about it, and then I began to work as a bartender, my job professionally was, well, it's getting people their drinks, but it was creating an environment through personality and discussion and fostering conversation. And some of the things that occurred in that part of my career were absolutely wonderful. I mean, I had some really terrific times, and the terrific times were not usually, but almost always was when the torch would be passed, when you'd stoke the flame just enough that the kindle of conversation would swell up, and people would be willing to share their lives and share their knowledge, and there you go. Okay, so that was great, and that's a skill. Okay, talking with strangers is it's an innate thing in humans, but it's also a learnable, not learnable in the sense that so it's like talent. Some people are better at it than others, but practice. You're going to get comfortable. Things are going to work out. And I'll tell you the thing about these videos. One thing is that I realized that through my life and circumstance and the pandemic and different things, is I have not spent enough time in the last number of years talking to really anybody. Okay. And, I talk to people, but I could talk to, certainly I wish I were speaking, I say talking to, I mean speaking with and embroiled in conversation. It's missing, it's practice. So this thing about these Korean dramas is a Hollywood box is here. Okay, and this idea of practice. Okay, now the Korean drama actors boxes is massive, and the range of both of emotion, like the depth of sorrow that you can see portrayed, and the height of elation that similarly you will see is stunning. It's beautiful. Now it's kind of maybe you talk to me or you're watching this, you're thinking that guy's crazy. He's making some giant sweeping generalization and it can't be possibly true, and he's creating a stereotype and stuff. But hey, man, you know what? In my experience of remember I said I was like practically a full-time coffee shop going, TV watching lunatic. Well, yeah, I think I've settled on enough data points that I've arrived at this decision. Okay, and what I'm trying to convey, and if there's a takeaway for the average viewer here, or for you, thank you very much, is that, hey, let's dip a toe in this water, and it's letting go. So if you're able to let go of, well, what's that about anyway, and just sit and just let it wash over you and think, oh my good gracious, oh, that's really something. It's like the difference between Adele using the singer, which calling her a singer is a discredit to the immense talent of Adele. Adele as a songwriter, Adele as a poetess, Adele as the creator of metaphor and worlds, and she can take you into a world, and it's a specific world, and it's powerful. So if you think of Adele and say the song "When We Were Young," everyone loves the way you move, everyone loves the things you do. From the way you move, things you say, oh, this, when we were young, oh my God, beautiful, beautiful. Adele. Or you go to Bob Dylan from the era around 1980, 85. Or even, funny I should mention Bob Dylan and Adele in the same kind of thought processes. To Make You Feel My Love, Bob Dylan, okay? To Make You Feel My Love, as performed by Adele. Magic, magic, magic. Just the sense where this emotional range, and it's expressed, and it's wonderful. Okay, so that's my idea, is that this is worth pursuing, and it's virtuous. So I mentioned some people. I mentioned, this president of Russia. And I mentioned Bob Dylan, I mentioned Adele, and I'm saying that Korean drama and Korean television is amazing. Okay? Really, it is. Give it some time, and it's widely available on Netflix. So, woohoo! Thank you, Netflix. Thank you, everything. All right. Anyway, my name's Bruce. This is my classroom in the forest, and right now it's my classroom in the rainy forest, and the rain's picking up. And this is inevitable. You stand here long enough out in the woods, you're going to get rained on. All right? So there you go. And if you want to get a title of where's a good stepping off point for some of these Korean shows, try this one. Backstreet. Backstreet. Backstreet Rookie. Rookie. It's awesome. Okay? Anyway, now I'm really getting rained on. I hope everything's well with you. Enjoy your day. Thanks for tuning in. And oh, if you could hit the like button and subscribe and leave a comment, thank you very much. Okay, bye now.